You heard Jerod Mayo there off the top, Keefe. 4 wins?
Yeah, that was back. When was that? That was one of the first interviews he did with the Greg Hill show. It was like January. It was a long time ago.
Oh, was that long ago?
Oh, I think it was.
Oh, I thought it was during the preseason. It was that long ago?
No, it was. He had not had the job very long, I don't think. But yeah, that was, I believe I have here January 22nd.
Oh, that's way longer. I thought that was in the preseason.
No.
Okay, that's right when he got the job.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was burn some cash. Burn some cash day.
Yeah.
So you could make the case that maybe he's actually walked, or in his head, walked those comments back because they in fact did not burn cash, and maybe he had 5 wins in his mind, considering that like, hey, we'll be a player in free agency, right?
Right.
Oh, he's like the Anakin and Padme meme where he's like, we're gonna burn some cash, right? She's just like, no, we're not going to burn any cash.
We're not doing that.
So we're going to re-sign all of our old players.
Maybe in his mind, that's a good point. Maybe in his mind, he thinks he's distanced himself from that because, well, they didn't spend money like you thought they were going to. So what? Now we're going to win more than 4 games? Well, you said it.
You did.
You said you're on the record. They're going to win more than 4 games this year.
But also, it's the way he said it, where it was like, obviously, we're more than 4 games.
Yeah, 4 games? What are we, trash?
Even at that time, I thought it was strange to have that kind of confidence in the team. Like, they...
Yeah, well, it turns out, Keefe, he doesn't really think through a lot of what he says.
Oh, right.
It turns out he just kind of says stuff, which is fine. I mean, that's useful in the radio industry.
Yeah.
I don't know how useful that is as a head coach.
He might be a better host than coach.
Yeah, he might. Yeah. Look, he's worked in the media before. Yeah. That might be a good spot for him. But it turns
Mayo
out
Mondays could turn into like a regular thing where he's just straight up on the Greg show for 4 hours.
Yeah. Steer clear of 10 to 2 there, Mayo.
Yeah.
Hey, stay
save some jobs for the rest of us.
Exactly. Stay on our side of the street. But I'm not sure he really thinks it through all that much, as we've come to find out.
Yeah.
But, okay, 4 wins. They're at 2.
Halfway point.
Midway point of the year.
Halfway point.
Thank you.
Yep.
Very winnable game this week in Tennessee. Are they going to be able to pay off on that guarantee? That's a guarantee by Jerod Mayo.
Guarantee.
They're going to win more games than a year ago. So they've beaten Cincinnati and the Jets. They have Tennessee.
No, I like to look at it as they beat Joe Burrow and Aaron Rodgers.
That's
way
how
I
putting
look at it.
I like to look at it as the Jets and Bengals beat themselves, but whatever, that's fine.
They're horrible.
Fine.
Well, I don't know if the Bengals are horrible, but they start horrible. The
They're
Jets
not good.
are horrible.
The Bengals are way worse than we thought.
Also, Jets are favored tomorrow now?
Yeah.
Against the Texans?
I thought we talked about it earlier in the week they were
We
favored.
did. No, I thought they were.
So that was before Diggs was officially out. It was Houston was a slight favorite. Now
they were a slight favorite.
Now
they
Jets
were
are favored.
They were like plus 1.5. Now they're minus 1.5. Like, I feel like it's too good to be true.
Nick emptied the account.
Texans
money line.
$26.35.
Texans money. It turns out
he's all in at the hold'em table.
He just loves to bet. He loves to empty the account on Houston, as it turns out.
Hey, it worked once.
Yeah, he did it against the Patriots.
Foolproof then.
Doing it again. Yeah, how could that fail?
I heard Courtney has her parlay set for tomorrow.
I did not hear that. She's
got
a
another 6-legger.
Oh, good. She's scaled back a little bit.
She asked Shime if she could change the bet, and Shime's like, "What?" She's like, "Can I add one to it?" He's like, "Well, no." He's like, "You could cancel it."
Yeah.
Because early enough
lose
for you
money.
No, I think right now
gonna get the full money back.
You might, because it's so far. The game's tomorrow.
Maybe this tells you something about my bets, but the second I lock in a bet, it's already like
we got it.
No, I mean, I've already lost like half of it. I've lost like 50% every time I lock it in.
It's like a new car off the lot.
I can only get half a ham back. If I bet a ham, I'm only getting half a ham back like the second they lock it in.
Give me that.
What?
Give me that.
Those are all the apps on my phone.
Every app.
Yeah.
No, but anyway, I'm just surprised that the Texans, even with their wide receiver issues, are expected to lose to that team. But anyway, yeah. So the Patriots, to your point, are 2-6 now. Last year at this time, 2-6.
Mm-hmm.
They also started 2-10 and still won 4 games.
Yeah.
So I guess you could look at it that way and be like, hey,
they got time.
They could continue to fall them apart a little bit.
We got all the time in the world.
Yeah.
So Keith, here's what's remaining on the schedule.
All right,
Tennessee,
one of the worst teams in football.
Okay. At Chicago,
the middle of the pack.
Yeah, I don't feel as good about that game as I did at the beginning of the
year. Good
for
the Patriots, you mean?
Correct.
Yeah. Their Caleb Williams is pretty good.
Their defense is really good. I mean, final play of the game against Washington notwithstanding.
Yeah.
And Tyree Stevenson notwithstanding, their defense is really good.
He's Caleb Williams is very inconsistent. So, he had the game against Jacksonville where he was insane. And then he's had a bunch of other games where he didn't really do much, even with those receivers that he has.
So, Chicago, we feel is a loss. Are we giving them the Tennessee win?
I'm not going to give them the win. I think it's very, very winnable.
With Drake May, would you give them the win?
Yes.
I probably would too, but I don't think he's playing, so I can't give them Tennessee.
Tennessee has kind of like the Bears, I guess. They have a good defense, but they have a much worse offense.
Yeah.
They have a horrible offense.
Yeah. They hung with Detroit for like a quarter last week.
Yeah, they're there.
It was 14-14.
52-14
Yeah,
final.
then Detroit hit the accelerator.
That's your final.
I don't have them winning either of these games. If Drake May's starting, then come talk to me.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get an update today. Jerod Mayo is going to talk shortly after 11 o'clock. The Rams, they're home against the Rams on November 17th.
So the Rams got their 2 stud receivers back last week. So they're a lot different team. If you played them without Kupp and Nakua, maybe. Now, no, I'll probably take the Rams.
No longer a winnable game. I don't feel good about that game at all.
Nope.
Whereas a couple of weeks ago I
They
did.
felt much better.
At Miami, November 24th with Tua back.
Tua has never lost to the Patriots. I heard that in the Keys once. So I feel like they're a much, much different team. As we've seen, there's been plenty of evidence with the other quarterbacks. So now there is 3 games there for Tua to also get hurt. I'm not even making a joke. It's just like there's 3 games that he has to survive.
Assuming Tua is going to start that game might be dangerous, but right now he's starting. If you were playing them today, which you're not, you would be getting Tua. I wouldn't give him that game.
No, and they lost already without Tua. Now, that was the ugliest game ever. Could have gone either way, but they lost it. And now this one's going to be in Miami, so no, I don't like that one.
Okay. How about the Colts, December 1st, at home, but now it's Joe Flacco.
It's Flacco. Oh, if it was Anthony Richardson, I'd be like, yeah, they probably would. Maybe he gives them that game.
All 3 of those games for me flipped in the last week.
Yeah.
Kupp and Nakua came back. I can't give him the Rams game anymore. Tua's back for Miami, which I think we always kind of assumed, but we didn't know.
Right.
And now it's Flacco again for the Colts. I'm giving them none of those games.
So out of those 5, the most winnable is Sunday.
This week.
Yeah.
And it's Brissett.
And I'm not, that's what I'm saying. I'm not handing them that win either, but that's clearly the best chance.
Even if you are handing them that game, we only have them at 3.
Right.
Bye week.
Win.
Can't lose.
Nope.
Arizona, at Arizona, December 15th.
Although with this team, the bye week, what are these knuckleheads going to what are they going to get into?
That's a good point.
Where are they going? What's going to happen?
They have a game this week, and Devon Godchau's at the Yankee game last night.
Big baseball
for God's
fan.
sakes. Loves baseball. So he's in New York last night. Great.
Well, hopefully we can talk to him on Friday about it.
Only a 4-hour drive. No, we should actually if we get him on Friday, we should.
Yeah.
So at Arizona, you feeling good about that one?
No. I actually like Kyler Murray, and Marvin Harrison's had a nice season. And that's at Arizona.
Don't like it.
No.
At Buffalo.
I don't like the Buffalo games.
No chance.
No.
Okay. Home against the Chargers?
Yeah, the Chargers, I think, are better than them, and for sure are better than them. I mean, they're not like a dominant wagon of a team, but I would take the Chargers.
The only way you're beating Buffalo Week 18 is if Buffalo's sitting everybody, and they probably won't be because they won't have the 1 seed locked up, I don't think.
Like
they're 2 games behind Kansas City right now.
No, that's the thing. With only 1 bye, more and more teams are playing to the end.
It changes Week 18 a lot.
Yep.
So, Keefe, we have Tennessee as kind of a toss-up. We have them losing everything else.
No, I mean, I love the under 4.5. I loved it at the beginning of the season. As the season has played out, you're like, hey, they got a little bit of spark with Drake Maye. All right, he's probably going to miss a game. We'll see. Even once he took the job. What do you think? Does anybody think there's 3 more wins on the table? Now, again, if Tua gets hurt, if Anthony Richardson's back in there, if Cooper Kupp's hurt, like you can do that game all you want.
Yeah, there are
but just as it stands right now,
there are 3 or 4 winnable games, but am I picking them to win any of them?
No. Because every other team that is playing the Patriots looks at it, and if they were doing this exercise in Chicago, Tennessee, LA, Pats, thank God. Thank God, Pats.
Win, cover, blow them out.
Yep.
Basically a week off.
100%.
That's how the opponents are looking at all these games.
Maybe the Pats cover a couple of these games. Maybe they don't. They've also gotten waxed a handful of times. So, this halfway point, them getting to over 4 wins, which is what Mayo was saying all those many months ago. It seems very unlikely.
Not saying. Guaranteeing.
Guaranteeing.
Guaranteeing. They're going to do it.
More wins next season than this past season? Like, is that...
I do feel that way.
Okay. So we got you on record.
You got me on record?
Yeah. All right,
that we're going to win more than 4 games?
Yeah.
I'm on record.
You're on record?
Absolutely.
All right, good. All right.
That's the sound of a not broken man. That's the sound of a man who still had that flicker in his eye, that hope. That's a non-broken man.
That's less than 1 year ago.
How
quickly things can change.
I'm assuming he's regretting that.
Uh-huh.
I would assume he's regretting that now because we have them losing out. Mm-hmm. Even if you give them Tennessee, they're still not going to get to more than 4, never mind even 4.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you see this shaking out? 617-779-7937. And what does it mean for Jerod Mayo if he can't pay off on that guarantee? How important is this week when you look at the schedule, Keefe? I
think it's huge.
Nothing is a must-win for this team, but to get to that number for Jerod Mayo, in that sense, it is a must-win.
No, I think it is huge. Now, I also thought the Miami game was huge. I thought the Jacksonville game was huge, and they sort of lost those games. But I guess the reason why I would say that this game is huge is, as we just sort of outlined, it is the most winnable on paper, but also is the game. So you call your team soft. You respond by beating a division opponent at home in a close game. You basically a walk-off win. And is that a one-off? Is that it? Is that done? Is like the message gone?
Feels like it.
Could be.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure could
I
be.
mean, it feels that way.
I'm not going to bet real money on the Patriots winning on Sunday, but if you win two in a row after that.
Keefe, they got called out. They won a game. Mayo gave them the Monday off, and now Godchild's taking in Yankee games. So, like,
if they lose on Sunday, then
it feels like it was a one-off, yes.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing is so the nature of football with the one game a week, you get really high after the win, you get really low after the loss because you don't have the next night. Tatum shoots poorly, one night. Well, guess what? He's back out there tomorrow, and he can change it, and like everything changes. In football, you're kind of living in this, but if they just lose, you're like, hey, that was great. This awesome win. They show the owner's box. The Crafts are all fired up. They're excited for this game. Mayo's excited for this game. They storm the field. Then you lose to Tennessee, who has one win. Like, where does that just sucks that joy? You lived it, you had it, but now it's gone. And then you look back on it, and you're like, well, how good was even that?
It is a fair question. Here's a good question for you, Keith. 37937. Does 4 wins and a tie count for the over?
No.
No?
No, that's why it's 4.5. He says we're going to win more than 4 games.
We're going to win more
than 4 games. And the Vegas over-under wouldn't pay.
Nope, that's true.
4.5 is
no
the win total.
No ties, text line.
No.
No, you can't.
Ties as good as a loss in this game.
I can't wriggle out of that one.